Today we're going to continue to simplify, but I'm going to add some different types of fractions to simplify. So let's review a couple like we've been doing. Last week we worked on simplifying proper fractions. A proper fraction is a fraction that has a numerator that is smaller than the denominator. So the number on top will be smaller than the number on the bottom. The first thing that you need to notice is there any number that will go into both 4 and 5? I always like to start with the numerator. Will 4 go into 10 equally? No. So I know that whatever I can divide them by has to be less than 4. So the next thing I notice is they are both even. Since they are both even, I can divide them both by 2. So remember, whatever you divide the numerator by, you must divide the denominator by. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. When I look at 10 and 5, I notice that 2 is even and 5 is odd. 2 is a number that's only divisible by 1 and itself, so nothing else will go into it. So this is in simplest form. It is as low as it will go. Let's try another one. 8 over 24. When I look at 8 over 24, I'm going to start with my numerator. I notice that they're both even, so I know 4 can work, but the quickest way to simplify is to see if the numerator will go into the denominator, and if it will, that is the largest number that will go into both of them. And I notice that 8 will go into 24, so I'm going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 8. 8 will go into 8 one time, and 8 will go into 24 3 times. When I get 1/3, I notice my numerator is 1, so it is as low as it will go. These are all proper fractions. They are proper fractions because the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Now let's talk about some improper fractions. And you may want to make a note that up here at the top, these are proper, that we were just simplifying. Improper fractions have a larger numerator than a denominator. So it will look like this, 9 over 4. When I'm looking at 9 over 4, I notice the numerator is larger than the denominator. But think back to last week when I told you that the line that goes in between the 9 and 4 means to divide. So 9 over 4 is actually 9 divided by 4. So if I want to simplify 9 over 4, all I have to do is divide. 4 will go into 9 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. I have a number over every number. So my answer is 2, remainder of 1. But when you're dealing with fractions, you can't leave it that way. You have to turn it into a mixed fraction. So all you have to do is use this little trick called the backward C. And you start with the number on the top. I have a 2. That's my whole number. 4 went into 9 2 whole times. And then I look at my remainder. That's what's left over, 1. And it's 1 out of 4 because I started with a 4. So 9/4 actually equals 2 1/4 if it was a mixed number. Okay, so when you have an improper fraction, the way you simplify it is you convert it from an improper fraction to a mixed number. Let's do some more. Next one is going to be 15 over 2 equals. I notice very quickly that my numerator is larger than my denominator, so I'm dealing with an improper fraction. So I have to remember that this line here means to divide. So I'm going to divide 15 by 2. I know that 2 will not go into 1, but I know 2 will go into 15 7 times. 7 times 2 is 14. I subtract and get a remainder of 1. I know that when I'm dealing with fractions, I'm trying to convert it from an improper to a mixed number, so I can't leave it this way. I've got to make it a mixed number. So all you have to do is remember the backward C. The backward C tells you to start Right here with the 7, it's 7 whole times. And if I follow my C along, I come to the 1 next. I have 1 left over, and I started with 2, so 1 out of 2. So 15 over 2 equals 7 1/2 as a mixed number. All you have to do is remember to do the backward C to help you set it up. You have 7 wholes. You have 1 out of 2 pieces left over, so it's 7 1/2. Let's try again. 27 over 4. I noticed that 27 over 4 is an improper fraction because I have a larger numerator than denominator. So this line here, or bar, whatever you want to call it, means to divide. I'm going to divide 27 by 4. 4 will not go into 2, but 4 will go into 27 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. I subtract and get a remainder of 3. But I remember I'm trying to convert it from an improper fraction to a mixed number, so I've got to do my backward C. How many whole times? I start on the top with my whole number. It goes 6 whole times. I have 3 left over, and I started with 4, so my answer is 6 3/4. 27 over 4 equals 6 3/4. Let's try one more. If I have 50 over 9 equals, it is an improper fraction because 50 is larger than 9, so my numerator is bigger than my denominator. I've got to divide. 50 divided by 9. 9 will not go into 5, but 9 will go into 50. 9 will go into 50 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. I subtract and get a remainder of 5. So I've got to change that into a mixed number. I do the backward C. I start with 5. I have 5 left over, and I began with the number 9. So 5 5/9. 50 over 9 equals 5 5/9. Once you get good at this, you will not actually have to set it up and divide. When I look at something like 26 over 5, I know that it means to divide 26 divided by 5, but you can do that mentally. And some of you can do that mentally right now, and if you can, that is great. You can save that step of dividing and working it out. If you know your 5s, then you know that all you got to do is say, how many times will 5 go into 26? 5 will go into 26 5 times, and then you'll know 5 times 5 is 25, so there's 1 left over, and whatever your denominator is, it stays your denominator. Let's try another one like that. If I have 52 over 10, I know that 10 will go into 52 5 times. I know that 5 times 10 is 50, so I have 2 left over. Whatever your denominator is when you start is what it will be when you end. So I noticed that my answer is 5 2/10. I just created a mixed number that contained a proper fraction. 2/10, both of those are even, so I keep my 5, but I must divide both of these by 2 to get it in simplest form. 2 will go into 2 once, and 2 will go into 10 5 times. So my answer is 5 1/5. Now let's do the opposite. Instead of having improper, let's look at some mixed numbers. Some people say mixed numbers. Some people say mixed fractions. They're both the same thing, so it really doesn't matter. Whichever way you say it, it doesn't matter. Whichever your preference is, I might refer to them as both. Mixed numbers look like this. 2 3/4 equals. When you have a mixed number, sometimes you will be asked to make them an improper fraction. So as we were working with a dividing and creating a mixed number, we work with a backward C. Now when you're changing a mixed number to an improper fraction, you're going to use the letter C. You're going to use the letter C. So you start at the bottom and you draw the letter C. You start with the 4. Okay, you're going to multiply. 4 times 2 is 8, and then you're going to add. 8 plus 3 is 11, and again, whatever your denominator is to start with is what it is to end. So my answer is 11 over 4. Sometimes these steps are hard for students to remember, so they become frustrated and they actually get really, really mad. And as I noticed my students getting mad, we came up with this saying that mixed fractions make us mad. They make us so mad because we have to multiply, then we have to add, and then we have to write it all over our denominator. So mixed numbers, mixed fractions make us so mad because it causes us extra work, because not only do we have to multiply, we have to add, and then we have to write it over the denominator. So if you can remember when you're trying to convert mixed numbers that they make you mad because you have to multiply, add, and then write it over the denominator. Let's do another one. 4 and 2/9 equals. Remember, mixed numbers make us mad. They make us mad because we have to multiply first, we add second, and then we write it over our denominator. So I'm going to keep my denominator. It stays the same. Step 1, you've got to multiply. 9 times 4 is 36. Step 2, you've got to add. You're going to add that answer plus your numerator. 36 plus 2 is 38. And then you write it all back over your denominator, which was a 9. 38 over 9. Let's try another one. Let's do 5 and 2, 6. I notice I have a mixed number. I want to convert my mixed number into an improper fraction, and I always remember that that makes me mad. It makes me mad because I have to multiply, I have to add, and then write it over my denominator. I also remember that a C comes into play. All this C is doing, boys and girls, is it's just kind of telling you the direction. You start at the bottom and you go all the way around to the top, but you start at the bottom. So you're going to start with a 6. The 6 stays the same, and then you get mad. You multiply. 6 times 5 is 30. And then you add. 30 plus 2 is 32. And then you write it all back over your denominator, which was a 6. 32 over 6. All right, I'm going to give you 3 fractions. We're going to look at 29 over 7. We're going to look at 24 over 32. And we're going to look at 4 and 2/3. I have just written for you 3 different types of fractions. You have to be able to identify each type of these in order to know how to simplify them. So the first one is an improper fraction. It is improper, remember, because your numerator is larger than your denominator. The second one is a proper fraction. It is a proper fraction because your numerator is smaller than your denominator. You typically have proper fractions. And then the last one is a mixed fraction or a mixed number. And the reason it's mixed is because you have a whole number and a fraction. So this means that you have 4 wholes and 2 out of 3 of another whole. So you have 4, but you don't quite have 5 yet. 4 whole pieces and 2/3 of another. So you have 4 whole pieces, and then you have 2/3 of another piece. Let's simplify each of those. I remember that the bar in the middle means to divide. So I can say my 7s and know 7, 14, 21, 28. So I notice that 7 will go into 29 4 times. But 7 times 4 is 28. There's 1 left over. And again, you always start with your denominator and end with it. So it would equal 4 and 1, 7. Now, if you can't do that mentally, set it up as a division problem. And you would say 7 will go into 29 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. I subtract and get a remainder of 1. This is when you do your backwards C when you're dividing. I have 4 wholes. So I've got my 4. I have 1 left over, and I started with this 7 up here. So 4 and 1, 7. Same way, whichever way is better for you. Now let's simplify our proper fraction. I quickly catch on that 24 over 32 has 2 even numbers, so I know that 2 will go into both of these. But I remember that I'm supposed to check my numerator. 24 will not go into 32 equally. But since they're both larger numbers, I have to think to myself, is there a number that will go into 24 and 32 both that's larger than 2? Because I know anything between 1 and 24 can work. So I quickly identify that 6 would go into both of these. And then I notice 8 will go into both of these. 4 will go into both of these. So I have lots of options. So I know that, I'm going to change my color. I know that 1 times 24 works. I know 2 times 12 works. I know 3 times 8 works. I know 4 times 6 works. 5 doesn't work, and then I've gotten back to 6. So all these are factors. And then I go down to 32, and I know 1 times 32 works. I know 2 times 16 works. 3 doesn't work. I know 4 times 8 works. 5 doesn't work. 6 doesn't work. 7 doesn't work, and I'm back to 8. So when I'm looking at this, I know they both have a 2. So I could divide them both by 2. They don't both have a 3. They both have a 4. So I could divide them both by 4. They don't both have a 6. They both have an 8. They don't both have a 12, and they don't both have a 24. So if I want to simplify and I want to get to the answer in simplest form first, all I have to do is divide them both by 8. So I would say 24 divided by 8 and 32 divided by 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3, and 32 divided by 8 is 4. So my final answer is 3/4. I could have divided with any of those, but if I did, I would have to keep going until I got it in simplest form. And then the last type was a mixed number. I have 4 2/3. I remember that these are going to make me mad. They make me mad because I have to multiply, add, and then write it all over my denominator. So my first thing is to say 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. And then remember, you always keep that same denominator, so it would be 14 over 3. Anytime that you want to check a mixed number, all you have to do is convert it back to an improper fraction if you want to make sure you did it the correct way. So if I have the mixed number of 4 and 1/7 and I want to check and make sure I did it correctly, all I got to do is reconvert it. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 is 29 over 7. That's exactly what I started out with. If I want to check on this one, I know that I divided both by 8, and the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So if I came down here and said 3 times 8, I would get 24, which is what I had. And if I say 4 times 8, I would get 32, which is what I had. And the last one, if I have 14 over 3, all I have to do is convert it back by dividing, because remember the bar in the center means to divide. 3 will go into 14 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12. I subtract and get a remainder of 2. I do my backwards C. I get 4 wholes, which I had, and 2 left over out of 3. So these are correct. Boys and girls, simplifying is not hard once you catch on. If you struggle, go back and rewatch me working examples of proper fractions, improper fractions, and mixed numbers. Starting tomorrow, we will be adding and subtracting fractions, and you will have to simplify all your answers.